Today, we will talk about the top 10 stranger island in the world.
Number 1. Few islands in the United States are as famous or infamous as Alcatraz, a small, rocky outpost in the middle of San Francisco Bay, California. Spanish explorer Lieutenant Juan Manuel de Ayala first mapped the island in 1775 and gave it the name Isla de los Alcatrazes, Island of the Pelicans, because of the large number of the seabirds that roost there. The rugged crag stood in the bay untouched until 1853, when the U.S. Army constructed a fortress on Alcatraz, which they used both for the defense of San Francisco Bay and as a prison. Then, in 1934, the Army transferred ownership of the island to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, which converted the fortress into one of the most legendary penitentiaries in the country's history. The prison housed many violent murders and mobsters including Al Capone, Alvin Karpis, Machine Gun Kelly, Basil the Owl Bangert and Mickey Cohen before closing its doors in 1963. Number 2. Some people believe that Poveglia Island is one of the most haunted places on Earth, and given its history, it's easy to see why. Located in the South Lagoon between the cities of Venice and Lido, the island was first inhabited in 421 by people fleeing invaders on the mainland. Source: Travel Channel. Residents had abandoned the island by 1348 when the bubonic plague hit Venice. Like many small, uninhabited islands, Poveglia was used to quarantine the dead and dying victims of the disease, many of whom were eventually burned on the island's giant pyres. More Venetians fell victim to Poveglia's grim fate in 1630, when the Black Death once again sickened many of the city's residents. This gruesome past had already inspired ghostly tales when Napoleon used the location to stash gunpowder and weapons in the early 19th century. Poveglia only became creepier when, in the late 1800s, the island became an asylum for the mentally ill. Legend suggests that one of the hospital's doctors performed strange experiments on the patients in the 1930s, a task that eventually drove him to leap off of the asylum's bell tower. Number 3. The Galapagos Islands are located in the eastern Pacific Ocean, 973 kilometers (605 miles) off the west coast of South America. The majority of islands are also more broadly part of the South Pacific. The closest landmass is that of mainland Ecuador, the country to which they belong, 926 kilometers (500 nmi) to the east. The Galapagos archipelago consists of 7,880 square kilometers (3,040 square miles) of land spread over 45,000 square kilometers (17,000 square miles) of ocean. The largest of the islands, Isabela, measures 2,250 square miles, 5,800 square kilometers, and makes up close to 3/4 of the total land area of the Galapagos. Vulcan Wolf on Isabela is the highest point, with an elevation of 1,707 meters, 5,600 feet above sea level. It is also atop the Galapagos hotspot, a place where the Earth's crust is being melted from below by a mantle plume, creating volcanoes. The first islands formed here at least 8 million and possibly up to 90 million years ago. Number 4. The Faroe Islands are a North Atlantic archipelago and island country that is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. They are located 320 kilometers (200 miles) north-northwest of Scotland and about halfway between Norway, 580 kilometers (360 miles) away, and Iceland, 430 kilometers away. The territory is one of 3 constituent countries that form the Kingdom of Denmark, along with Denmark and Greenland. The islands have a total area of about 1,400 square kilometers with a population of 54,000 as of June 2022. Between 1035 and 1814, the Faroe Islands were part of the Kingdom of Norway, which was in a personal union with Denmark from 1380. In 1814, the Treaty of Kiel transferred Norway to Sweden, whereas Denmark kept its Atlantic territories, which included the Faroe Islands, Greenland and Iceland. Number 5. Maldives, in full Republic of Maldives, also called Maldive Islands, independent island country in the north-central Indian Ocean. It consists of a chain of about 1,200 small coral islands and sandbanks, some 200 of which are inhabited, grouped in clusters, or atolls. Maldives Islands extend more than 510 miles, 820 kilometers from north to south and 80 miles, 130 kilometers from east to west. The northernmost atoll is about 370 miles (600 kilometers) south-southwest of the Indian mainland, and the central area, including the capital island of Malé, is about 400 miles (645 kilometers) southwest of Sri Lanka. The Maldives Islands are a series of coral atolls built up from the crowns of a submerged ancient volcanic mountain range. All the islands are low-lying, none rising to more than 6 feet (1.8 meters) above sea level. Barrier reefs protect the islands from the destructive effects of monsoons. Number 6. The major volcanic eruption of Cumbre Vieja volcano on La Palma, Canary Islands, began on September 21, 2021. For 3 months, lava poured out of the volcanic ridge and flowed to the sea, engulfed 3,000-plus dwellings. The October 4th Aster thermal infrared image shows the first flow reaching the coast. On October 15th, a second flow followed to the north. By December 19th, activity had stopped, and the flows are cooling. The images cover an area of 32.5 by 49.3 kilometers, and are located at 28.6 degrees north, 17.9 degrees west. With its 14 spectral bands from the visible to the thermal infrared wavelength region and its high spatial resolution of about 50 to 300 feet, 15 to 90 meters, Aster images Earth to map and monitor the changing surface of our planet. Aster is one of 5 Earth-observing instruments launched December 18, 1999, on Terra. The instrument was built by Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. Number 7. Padar, also known as Padar, is a small island located between Komodo and Rinca Islands within Komodo Archipelago, administrated under the West Manggarai Regency, East Nusa Tenggara, Indonesia. It is the third largest island part of Komodo National Park. The Komodo Archipelago is famous for Komodo dragons, giant lizards that can measure up to 3 meters long. However, unlike neighboring islands of Komodo and Rinca that are teeming with the ferocious lizards, on Padar Island the Komodo dragon was considered extinct. As of 2000, the Komodo Survival Agency has reported at least 12 individuals, including one hatchling Komodo dragon, showing that the dragon's hold on the island of Padar is not over yet. The topography of the island is rugged, with steep volcanic mountains and hills set against deep bays. Padar has a dry climate, with only bushes and grassland vegetation covering the island, creating savanna hills. Padar Island has 4 deep bays with beaches in different colors. Number 8. Palm Islands, one of the strangest man-made islands in the world, is located in Dubai, a city whose extravagance also includes an indoor ski hill and a 160-story skyscraper. Palm Jumeirah, an artificial archipelago off the coast of Dubai, boasts 16 0.62-mile-long fronds surrounded by a circular barrier island 6.8 miles long. It measures 3.1 miles from tip to mainland and is 12 square miles in total area. It was constructed in the Persian Gulf using boulders excavated from a nearby mountain range and more than 120 million cubic yards of sand dredged from the seafloor. Amazingly, Palm Jumeirah is just one of 4 artificial island developments currently underway in Dubai. Nearly complete, Palm Jebel Ali will be more than twice the size of Palm Jumeirah, while the final development, Palm Dara, will be the largest of the 3 artificial islands. A 4th project called The World is a cluster of 300 islands grouped in the shape of a world map. Number 9. Easter Island is an island and special territory of Chile in the southeastern Pacific Ocean, at the southeasternmost point of the Polynesian Triangle in Oceania. The island is most famous for its nearly 1,000 extant monumental statues, called moai, which were created by the early Rapa Nui people. In 1995, UNESCO named Easter Island a World Heritage Site, with much of the island protected within Rapa Nui National Park. Experts disagree on when the island's Polynesian inhabitants first reached the island. While many in the research community cited evidence that they arrived around the year 800, there is compelling evidence presented in a 2007 study that places their arrival closer to 1200. The inhabitants created a thriving and industrious culture, as evidenced by the island's numerous enormous stone moai and other artifacts. However, land clearing for cultivation and the introduction of the Polynesian rat led to gradual deforestation. By the time of European arrival in 1722, the island's population was estimated to be 2,000 to 3,000. Phi Phi Islands in Thailand are the most famous destination. I know this is a little surprise to anyone. It is home to Maya Bay, made famous by the release of 2000 film The Beach starring Leonardo DiCaprio. And like unprecedented tourist hotspots before them, the popularity of Phi Phi has led to unmanageable rates of arrival. Located about 46 kilometers from Phuket in Thailand's Andaman Sea, Phi Phi has two major islands, Phi Phi Let and Phi Phi Don. Phi Phi Let is where Maya Bay is situated. There are no accommodations since it is prohibited to stay overnight. The far larger Phi Phi Don, considered a backpacker paradise in Lo Dalam because of the abundance of budget and mid-range accommodation options, is renowned for its wild party scene. Ko Phi Phi is an Asian paradise that boasts water, golden sands, and idyllic seascapes.